It is Will 777JP, and today we got a special one for y'all today, man. I have with me your boy, the boy, Mr. Henry Heck. Henry, how are you, man?
What's popping? I'm pretty good, man. Chilling, relaxing, ready to get into it. Get to the topic. You know how we do.
Absolutely. So today, gamers, we wanted to bring you something special, something that we haven't done on the channel before, some that I don't think Henry has done in his channel before, and that is we want to have a 1v1 gamer conversation in regards to Hell is Us, the game. Mr. Henry Heck already played this, already beat it, already had a great time with it. He's still thinking about it, and today
Mm.
he's going to talk about it. And today is a very special one because it's my first collaboration video with Henry outside from the lives. Those are just the boys hop in, we have fun. No, this is actually going to be structured. It's going to be more conversational. It's going to be more podcasty kind of form, but it's still just a regular video. So don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button over here at the Will 777JP channel and at the Mr. Henry Heck channel. And
Yes, sir.
hope you guys enjoy it. Henry, any words of wisdom before we get started?
Also head over to that Just Playing Discord channel. You know what I mean? Head on over there. Interact with the people. We all over there every day, all day, every night, all night. Got people from all across the world. So even if it's late in the evening, you'll have somebody to talk to.
Hey, that's a fact. We are worldwide in there, man. We got people from the United States. We got people from the UK. We got people from Australia. We got people from all over the place. So Henry's absolutely right when he says you can talk to anybody at any time because when I'm sleeping, when Henry's sleeping, there'll be people up and just getting their day started and they will talk to you as well. And it's a great place to find people to play video games with. I mean, we have so many guys that link up to play games with each other. We talk gaming all the time, and we're actually even planning a little. What's the name of that game? That RPG that everybody went over with a couple years ago. The bear, where you can be with a bear.
Oh, you talking about
Starts with
what's
a
that
B, I
game?
think.
Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate. We're even planning a Baldur's Gate uh, team up where we might have to do teams where four of us are going to get together, play Baldur's Gate, and stream it on the channel. So go join us over there. Links will be at the description in the bottom. But, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, today the main topic of focus is Hell is Us. Hell is Us is a game that attracted both me and Henry. I think I saw this game for the first time in like a state of play or something like that. Henry, when did you see this for the first time?
I actually, I actually don't even remember when the first time I saw it. It was a while ago. Was it earlier? Was it earlier this year? It might have been late last year or earlier this year. I don't remember though.
Yeah, I think it was late last year, I believe. So I think we saw it. They didn't really give us too much information. They didn't even give us a release date at the time. We just saw it, and it was interesting. And as time went on, we started to get more information about the game. The thing that caught my attention big time was the way you maneuver the map. There's going to be no hand holding. You have to pay attention to the details and the environment and the things the NPCs are telling you in order to navigate this game. But I'll make that the first question to Henry before we backtrack a little bit, and that is that was my biggest concern with the game. I played the demo; those concerns kind of went away a little bit. But you, who have beaten the game, what did you think about that whole no hand holding situation going on into Hell is Us?
Oh man, I was super interested in it. And at first, you know, I was interested, but also I was a little bit apprehensive also because I didn't want to be just wandering around aimlessly and wait and feeling like I'm wasting time. Because that's one thing I don't like in video games, feeling like I'm wasting time. Because I could be playing something else, I could be doing something else, but like you said, after playing a demo as long as you pay attention, you'll know where to go. And even on when you get deeper into the game and deeper into the story, having conversations with people, and just your general curiosity. You can't. The game got a way of kind of pointing you in the right direction. You know what I mean? Because you'll be heading in the direction. You'll see somebody. You'll talk to them, and they'll say something that'll send you off into another direction. And it's like bridging path organically. So you will end up where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to end up. It's not like you're gonna just be lost and wandering aimlessly. Um, and like I said, your natural curiosity, you're gonna just wander around the whole, because it's not open world. It's hub based. So it's a finite area you'll be in. So once you feel like you've exhausted, you looked everywhere, you talked to everybody, more often times than not, you head back and then you'll unlock a new area to go to. So you don't really got to worry about being lost, um, because by the time you feeling like, oh man, I'm wandering around aimlessly, and you head back to the APC, it's a new area to go to. You done unlock something else just through having conversation and going to do stuff as far as the quests in there. So you ain't got to worry about getting lost at all. And that was one of the things I was worried about because I didn't want to feel like I was wasting my time. But
I think that's a
but
big. Go ahead, Henry.
I was just saying, but you know, go into it wanting to explore. You know what I mean? Because that's the main thing that drew me into it. You know what I mean? I'm super curious about what was going on in the world itself. It's a civil war going on. It's you know different religions and cults, and it's entities from other dimensions. It's a lot of stuff going on. So it just the nature of the game itself make you want to explore and see what all going on in there. And that's what really drew me to the game in the first place. I was super interested in that type of stuff.
And I didn't mention this at the beginning, but this is going to be spoiler free, right? We're not going to be spoiling anything heavy in the game. There's going to be
Right
minor
on.
little things that you may consider spoilers, but that's not our intention. These are just game mechanics, the flow of the story, not the story itself. That way you guys can get a better idea of what the game is about, what to expect, and all that. But I can relate 100% what Henry is saying because, us as adults, we both have families, we both have jobs, responsibilities. Wasting our time in a game is probably one of the worst things that can happen to us, right? Because you have
Yeah.
this feeling of, oh, I could have been doing something else. Heck, I could have been cleaning the bathroom today instead of wasting 2 hours trying to do this thing in this game that is so poorly designed that I couldn't get it done, right? So there are things
Right.
that we could, our time is precious. And I know your time out there in the audience is precious too. Time is money, right? That's the saying goes. But I want to take it way, way back real quick, Henry, because a game like this is something normally I wouldn't jump into myself. I ain't gonna
Hmm.
lie, I was interested in the game from when I first saw it. The environments looked interesting to me, the character design looked interesting to me, heck, the combat looked interesting to me. But it wasn't till
Hmm.
the demo that it solidified my purchase. And also knowing that my friends, including or mainly Henry, were also excited about this, that made me pull the trigger on it. But let's take it back because we're talking about how we don't like, waiting or wasting time in games. But let's show the people a little bit of where you're coming from that led you up to this. When did you start gaming, Henry? Like, do you remember how old you were? What was your
Ooh.
first console? Do you remember any of that?
Um, I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I do remember uh I gamed on the original Nintendo first because my uncle had one of the original, well, not one of, he had the original Nintendo. And at this time, looking back on it, the Super Nintendo and all this stuff was out, because I remember also riding with my grandparents to go buy a Sega Saturn when it came out. You know what I mean? So I went from Nintendo, then playing on his Sega Saturn. He also had a Sega, not the Genesis, but it was the first Sega. He had one of
Oh,
those. I played on those. But my first console was the Sega Genesis. My mom got me and my brother one to share. And then my first solo console was Game Boy, the OG Game Boy. I
Mm,
asked for a Game Gear. My dad got me a Game Boy. At first, I was disappointed, but you know what I mean. I made do. You know what I mean. I made do. I had Tetris, I had a Kirby game, and I also had King of Fighters '95 on that joint. I played the hell out of it. I went through so many battles on that thing. And on the Sega Genesis, I had Sonic and Knuckles. Um, I don't know how, but I also had a Beavis and Butthead game, and then that was it. Everything else I rented or I borrowed from my uncle. He had one of my favorite games. It was called Charcan. It was a super hard game. I could never make it past the second level, but I thought it was cool because the guy he could he had dual wield swords, dual wielding swords, and he also used magic. And you could enchant the swords with like different elements, and you could cast a spell on them to make them float around. It's kind of like Castlevania, but
hmm
like way more difficult, in
So
my opinion.
from that moment on, all the way to your adulthood, what type of games were you playing? Were you the type to just play different types of games, whatever, it didn't matter as long as it looked interesting, or did you stay to a specific type of game?
Nah, at that age, on up until I say on up until high school, I pretty much played whatever. I played whatever that looked cool. You know what I mean? I played Twisted Metal 2. I played Fighting Force. I played Bloody. I really wasn't genre specific at all. I played Crash Bandicoot. I played Threads of Fate. Another one of my favorite games of all time I played was called Brave Fencer Musashi. It's a JRPG, and I actually borrowed that again from my uncle. It wasn't turn based though; it was action.
Okay.
Um, Legend of Dragoon. Hell, I was even playing fucking hockey games. You know what I mean? I was playing whatever, Smash Brothers, Donkey Kong, Mario. I was playing whatever I could play because at that time we was living, we weren't living in, we was living in government housing and stuff. So it wasn't, you could go outside and play, but it was a bunch of trouble outside. So me and my friends would just go over to one another's houses and just huddle up in the room and play games. And they'll bring games over. I bring games over. I borrow games from my uncle every now and then. My mom would take us to like movie gallery. That's what we had here. It was called movie gallery. We didn't
Mm.
have Blockbuster, but it was similar to that. And you know what I mean, you rent games, rent movies, or whatever, and that's just what it was. So whatever case I picked up and it looked cool, looked interesting, that's what I was playing for the weekend. You know what I mean? It
Damn, bro.
wasn't until high school where I got like genre specific and I was just like shooters. I want to play shooters.
Yeah.
That's all I was trying to play. Shooters and Need for Speed. That's what I was into.
Yeah, I think you were like a normal ass teenage boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
bro.
you just loving the shooters, the racing. You know what I mean? I was through that. Me and you're a similar age, and fuck, I remember high school. We had the Need for, or not the Need for Speed. Well, yeah, Need for Speed, but the what are those movies called with Vin Diesel and Paul Walker?
Fast
And
and the Furious.
we had the Fast and the Furious movies.
Uh huh.
We had the Halos. We had like our generation is very, very. I say we're blessed, right? We had so many issues too. Like we had big impactful things in our lives, like 9/11 and the economy crashing in
Yeah.
2008, and we were there before the internet was something that was in every single home to being in every single home. We went to AOL chat to Facebook and MySpace, and our generation went
Yeah.
through a lot, right? So, but I always feel blessed too because I feel like we were part of what some people consider the golden age of gaming, right? That Super Nintendo to like PS3 era, 360 era was a very special moment. Everything was new, everything was innovative, everything, gaming wasn't scared to try new things, right? Because it wasn't so expensive like it is nowadays. Nowadays, you have a studio that invests $100 million in the game and they don't sell. They're done, right? They're closing up shop.
Mhm.
But you had Nintendo actually, and Nintendo still has that energy where they'll experiment and try new things, and we see that with the Switch One. But it was just a different time. And the reason I ask you that question is because I'm a little bit of the opposite. I'm actually a way opposite. I didn't I didn't really gander too much into new things because
Mhm.
I wasn't able to just go to Blockbuster every weekend. It was more like twice a month, maybe. and I didn't want to waste that opportunity trying something that I may not like, and then I'm screwed for another 2 weeks, right? And
Yeah.
then so I just get the same stuff that I always loved, and I knew that I was gonna have a good time that weekend. So we come from a little bit different backgrounds, but during our teenage years, we're pretty much the same. I played a lot of sports games, a lot of like Madden, MLB The Show. I did play some Call of Duty, but those were my things were the sports games. And I think they should do a research, a correlation because I wasn't like a super good kid where like straight A's and I always behaved, but I was never out here getting in trouble. You know what I mean? Like the most trouble I
Hmm.
got was I showed up home late, right? I was hanging out with my girlfriend too late, and my dad's like, "All right, I'm taking the car for 2 days from you." Like that's the most trouble I got in, right? Like I would go to school, I didn't skip school, and I think I'm getting a similar vibe from you. And I think they should do a search about kids that were gamers, how they were more they behaved more. Do you think that correlates, Henry, or do you think that's just
Yeah, I'm
luck
gonna
of the
keep it
draw?
real with you. I think it do, cause like all the homies who I was telling you about, like they'll come over, we'll game together, trade games. Same situation. They weren't getting in trouble either, man. They weren't getting in trouble.
Yeah.
And now I think about it, all the friends and even people now who we met throughout, Discord or something like that. Like we was in the house gaming, bro. We
Yeah.
wouldn't, I think by being in the house game and not, I don't want to necessarily just say like running the streets. You just ain't exposed to certain stuff and you don't develop an appetite for certain, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
for doing certain stuff. I mean, you still go outside and hang out
Oh
and
yeah.
whatnot, but I just feel like you don't develop an appetite towards certain things, and not to say that, I didn't sneak and smoke weed and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course I did, but I went out here like
But we weren't stealing
being,
cars. We weren't,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I went outside being a ruffian, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I went out here, we went out here jumping people and beating people up and
Yeah.
causing trouble and being super disruptive at school. I mean, we get in the fight, we'll get into a little tussle,
Yeah.
but it was normal young
Kid
man
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Clowning a little bit too much in class when you should have been paying attention, whatever, get maybe detention, but you do your time and you try not to get caught again, right? So yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I think it's the same thing with me. Yeah, absolutely. And I did have friends that were ruffians, right? They did some of the more crazier shit, but that was always my parents were a little strict. Like I had to be inside the house by 8 o'clock at night, even during the summer, even when I was 15 years old. Like my parents weren't playing that. And the thing, I fought them so long, but the thing that kind of made things a little bit better were, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go play Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I'm gonna go play some Madden. I'm gonna go play Need for Speed. And you know what? I'm
yeah.
now that I'm an adult, I'm so thankful for my parents because I'm looking around and some of these people who didn't play video games, they turned out a little bit different. But just a little bit of a background of where me and Henry are coming from because I, now that you guys had heard, now that you guys heard Henry, you heard me. We come from very different, types of games that we like, and but we both ended up with Hell is Us. You guys know my
Hey,
history a little bit more from my YouTube videos, but the same thing that attracted me to the videos or to the game is the same thing that attracted Henry, and that speaks volume. Um, in this game, Henry, what is and another example I want to give people is besides Hell is Us, what is another one or two recent games that you just finished or beat?
recently, Metal Eden, super hitter right there. Um, Dying Like the Beast and Hurdling. Those are three games I just finished that I would say pretty different. You know what I mean? Even though two of them are first person, the gameplay style is different. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the last three games I knocked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're all very different games. And I've also beaten Metal Eden. I just beat Dying Light the Beast as well. So yeah, very different games. As you can tell, guys, when we are talking about Hell is Us, this isn't the typical game that we like specifically look for, but it is a game that we are playing because we like to try different things out. And I think that's the one of the biggest things I want you guys to get out of this video is don't let some of the negative connotations that you may have about games keep you away from this game. Because as you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
hear right now, this game is pretty fire in accordance to Henry, and also pretty fire based on what I've played, which isn't much, but it is enough that I know I'm gonna have a good time with this. Let's start from the beginning with this game, Henry. Or you know what? Let's give the people what they really want. I know you do things a little bit different. What is your rating on the game? 1 to 5, 5 being the best game, one being a bad game. What do you give this game?
Oh, that's a good one, man. I give this good guy. I give this good guy a fucking 5.
Oh, well,
I
this
give
is
it a
the
fucking
first 5
5.
I've heard from you ever.
Yeah, bro. I give this joint a 5, bro. You know what I mean? Because
Wow.
when, and I think a lot of it also, it really met my expectations. You know what I'm saying? Because the combat, because I didn't go into it thinking, and this might be a hot take, but I didn't go into it thinking it was gonna be like a Souls like. I really went into because I'm watching the combat, and one of the homies, Elbethium, a Souls god. That's what he do. And I was having conversations with him, and watching it, and I'm like, man, this don't look Souls like, because that word kept getting tossed
Yeah,
around and thrown around. I'm like, this
which I
this
don't
don't
like.
look like the yeah. I'm like, this just looked like a action hack and slash type of game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that plus the combat, I was super interested into the combat aspect, and then also that coupled with my curiosity for what was going on inside the world, that was met. The combat aspect was met visually. It's not a spectacular looking game, you know what I mean, but it looked current and it looked good.
Hmm.
Sound design, music, you know story, it hit on all those things for me personally. Now, you know what I mean, because you could play it and beat it and come away with your own ideas and feelings about the game, but I'm just, from my perspective, it hit everything it needed to hit for me, man. And another hot take, people say, oh, the combat is the weakest part, I was also, whenever I get a new game, I also go and get involved inside of the subreddit, because I want to, get a feel for what people saying,
Hmm.
and tips and tricks, and the overall uh air around the game, because a lot of times you get you a game that they can build these cult followings, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh
People
yeah.
who are really, really passionate about it, and Reddit is a good place to, tap into that. I mean, you also find a lot of people over there who like to, trauma bond over nonsense, but you go in there and they loving it. But one complaint that was just permeating was the combat, but nobody would ever specifically say what the issue was. Oh, it lacks variety. That's the most you would get. It lacks variety, and like playing through the game, and I'm like, bro, I'm not getting the lack of variety, because they'll be like Zelbethium. I talked to him. He said it's only 4 different type of hollow walkers, which is true. It's only 4 different types of them. Well,
And
it's like
Hollow
it's
Walkers are the enemy type, right?
yes, they're the humanoid type of enemies, you know. But I had probably been I was deep into the game. In fact, at this time I was almost finishing, and it was of course I done seen all the Hollow Walkers, but this motherfucker hit me with an attack I had never seen before. You know,
Mm.
in my whole playthrough, I never seen the attack before, so it's coming at me with the attack. I don't know what to do because I don't know what the fuck it's doing, and so I'm like, man. So this whole time they got attacked. It's probably other ones that got attacks I ain't never seen before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then two, to add to it, they have these um because the Hollow Walkers are sometimes made up of 2 different entities. Would that have you seen, when you watch the video footage, and this ain't spoiler because if you watch some gameplay trailers, it's in here. Where the
Hmm.
spirit of expel from the humanoid, like the glowing balls in the different colors.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I've
They
seen it in the trailer before.
Yeah, so there are three different types of those in each of the three different types of colors. You know what I mean? And the colors represent human emotions. You know, so you got terror, you got rage, you got envy, and it's a third one. It's yellow. I forget the name of it. So it's like it's even though it's only four hollow walkers, it's a whole bunch of variety wrapped up in there. Because number one, you don't know what type of entity they gonna spit out. You don't know which one of the three it's gonna be, and also you don't know which attacks it's gonna be using. And
Yeah.
and to add to that, you yourself got a lot of combat ability because you got four different weapon types you can choose from. You got four different type of glyphs you can choose from, and in those four different glyphs is different. I guess you would call them abilities. You know what I mean? And then also on top of that, you got the drone. The drone got different nodes you can equip into the drone. Like you can use shield, you can use enhanced dodge, you can use count. It's a whole bunch. It's way deeper than what folks give it credit for, and that's one of the things that I just really wasn't vibing with when people criticize the game because I'm like, bro, it's because it make me feel like they didn't play it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Or either they just didn't engage fully in the systems that it had to offer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was it kind of burned me up about it because I'm like, man, because I don't know, man. I don't know if you have felt that way about a game when somebody criticizing the game, but you
Bro,
put
that's the whole
you,
reason. Well, I don't want to say the whole reason, but that's a big reason of why I started my YouTube channel because I got tired of people who don't play video games talking the most about video games, right? Telling you don't buy this, don't play that. It's like, my guy, why? How about you just talk about the positives? Yes, it's okay to like we should criticize the game. We should say the negative things about it, but sometimes people focus so much on the negatives that they don't ever bring up the positives. And sometimes the negatives are so small, but you blow them up and you throw away what could be somebody's favorite game ever. Or the journalists,
bro,
right? We always talk about this in the Discord. We talk about this on the podcast, where these some of these dudes have admittedly said, "Yeah, we don't play the whole game. We play the first 5 hours and then we make our review because we just don't have the time." So I'm like, you know what? If these people can be successful at bullshitting others about a game, why can't I, who's a real gamer, why can't Henry, who's a real gamer, do our own thing and for real give people the information like we're doing right now? Sorry to cut you
right
off,
on.
Henry.
Nah, you're not cutting me off. But I also, and even just then, running through all that, I had left something out. It's not just four, it's five of them because you also got neutral, and neutral got its own abilities and whatnot to go along with it. So it's a lot deeper. And then the fact that you can equip two different weapons, like so, because I like using the great sword, so which is a big, powerful, slow type of weapon. But you also have twin axes, which is quicker. You also have I don't want to call it a short sword, but it's like a regular broadsword. It's a lot quicker. So you can equip a heavy weapon and a quick weapon. You know what I mean? And you can
Hmm.
you can switch to it whenever. You know, you just hit up on the D-pad, boom,
Yeah.
and you can mix and match weapons. And you can mix and match the glyphs. Bruh, it's deep. Combat is deep, bruh, and it's just the one aspect that really it actually surprised me how deep it was. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because you mixing all this over here with your weapons, then you also got the abilities of your drone, bro. Come on with it, bro. Come on with it. They talking about it's the weakest part of get the fuck out of here, bro.
I'm actually
Get
watching
the
the
fuck out
cutscene
of
right
here.
now where you first get unlock the door, the dude with the APC, and then you come in and the woman starts fighting the one of the
Yeah,
Apollos.
bro.
I'm like, when I first saw that in the demo, I was hooked. I'm like, oh, this is interesting because you're playing as a regular kind of guy who went back home, and this is not spoiler either. We see this in the
Nah, it's
description of
not.
the video, but he goes back home to find his parents, right? His parents
Yep.
smuggled him out of the country because of the Civil War, and you're coming back to try to find him and figure out what the hell's going on. And so you're just a regular dude. I mean, you do have some training under you, but nothing like this. And like the story is something I think that is underappreciated in this game as well. Now, I haven't played it to completion, so I can only tell you what I think. of what I played so far and where I think it may be going. But just the premise of this thing by itself is super, super interesting to me. And another thing too that caught my attention is the quality of the cutscenes. Because this
Mm-hmm.
is a smaller game, right? This isn't like a big AAA game. What would you classify this?
Yes,
Like a double A maybe?
it's yes, double A, and it's also Unreal 5.
And and that's another thing that I wanted to talk about because if you have watched any my I think it was the Mafia review, there was a couple reviews and maybe not Mafia. If it's Mafia Unreal 5, I can't remember. I've done so much content, but you'll
Oh
see
snap!
that when Expedition 33, I said
Yeah,
it in
that
that
one.
one. Anytime I have an Unreal Engine 5 game, I always have visual problems. I'm not talking glitches, but there's a little bit of ghosting, a little bit of like it's foggy or not quite as crisp, not quite as clear. And Hell is Us, even though I've only played a little bit of it, I haven't seen the typical normal visual issues that I see with these other big AAA Unreal Engine 5 games, which
Hmm.
leads to conversation like, is it a skill issue on behalf of the developers, or is it that the engine itself is just a broken mess or too complicated for people to learn quickly? Is giving me PS3 vibes on how it was hard for people to develop games because it was so complicated. But then after the generation got going, people got good at it, and then some of the best games ever came out at the end of the PS3 gen. Last of Us is one that pops in my mind, right? So,
Hmm.
it's really interesting you brought that up as well because now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you damn right, it is Unreal Engine 5 and it looks great. But the story caught my attention big. I really love and once again, this is another example of a game where the story that it's doing is nothing special. It's nothing. It's
Hmm.
not even unique, right? It's literally a guy going back home trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and these issues are happening. Let's figure it out. That's the story.
Yep.
It's not complicated.
Yeah, really. Did you check out the prequel comic they released?
No, there's a
Okay.
prequel comic about it.
Yeah, yeah. They put
Oh
it
wow.
out probably like a week or 2 weeks before it released. They dropped it. It's super. It's short. I think it's like 12 pages,
I'm
and
gonna look it up.
it just goes over him, how it basically goes over how he, like, I guess you call it, he went AWOL from the Peacekeepers to come over into Hedaya and get the quest going. So that's all it really covers. But it was super interesting. You know what I mean? The artwork was dope in there, and yeah, that's all it did. It just covered him, you know, leaving the Peacekeepers to come over here to do this. But for me, at being a, because I had already started the game when I read it, because I had downloaded it when they initially released it, but in doing stuff, doing life, I just forgot about it, and I had read it on the plane ride back home from,
Oh, from your
we
football
went
game.
on, yeah, we went on a little trip, and then because I was thinking about it, because I was like, man, because the plane ride was short, so I was like, man, I'm gonna get me something to occupy my time and
Yeah.
entertain myself. And and I was looking through my files. I was like, oh shit, I got this in here. Let me go ahead and check this out. And cool, because it after reading it, it made me think like, man, they put some thought into like building this world. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And it made me appreciate it even more.
Well,
Cause
I just found it, and I'm gonna link it in the description of this video. I'm gonna read it after the interview with Henry, and you guys go check it out too, and maybe that will spark your interest into the game because I love stuff like that, bro. I think that's why I really love sci-fi games and movies because there's just so much. These are worlds, right? Like the Star Wars
yes,
universe, heck, even Avatar. Like all this stuff is super interesting to me, and that's awesome. And I've also seen a couple of the interviews with the director of the game, and the and what I really like, I fuck with his energy. Like if you look at him, he's tatted up. You know what I mean? He's got two
mm-hmm,
sleeves. Um, but how passionate he is about gaming and the games that he creates is just oozing creativity. And that's another thing that I love about Hell is Us. And when I agree with Henry, people talking negative about the enemy types, which once again I haven't seen them all because I'm still in the beginning of the game.
Mhm.
But if you look at the design, you guys that are watching the video, you can see this cutscene that I just went through. Like they're called hollowed out, and look at the description of the character. Like these things look creepy, they look weird, and they look hollowed out. And there's a meaning behind the word hollowed out as their name. They're literally, and they're not only physically, but they're the way that they are as creatures are hollowed out. And just little attentions to detail like that is how you create a fandom, is how you expand on your IP, is how you expand on so many things, man. It's by paying attention to those little things that you can keep adding on. And when you have a strong foundation,
Mhm.
it makes it easy for the fans like me and Henry to dive deep into it and not just enjoy it, but look forward to what's next. What did you think about the story, Henry? I know that sometimes games like this, the story takes a backseat. What was your experience with the story in this game?
Oh no, it don't take a backseat because you pretty much like you say you trying to figure out what's going on with your homeland and find your parents, and that's at the forefront. Even though you're going throughout the continent, meeting these people and listen to their story because it's a civil war going on, so it's a lot going on. You know what I mean? So it's always something interesting happening because, like I said, you got your own journey. You trying to figure that out. It's also a civil war going on. You interacting with all these people, and they got their own stuff going on, And then on top of that, you got the haze going on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And Remy as a character, he's I want to say I'm trying to find a character in the game that you played that who might be similar because he is cold, but throughout the journey, talking to certain people and certain things happening, you see like the splashes of emotion pop up. You see, a bit of attachment, surprise, and a lot of stuff and it even surprise because you find something out about him to where it's even surprised. He's even surprised himself when he's showing emotion towards certain stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the story, doesn't take a back seat, and because even if you were to get to a point of roaming around and exploring, and you know, and you might let's just say you might get caught up in doing one thing, and you kind of forget. The next time event happens, it's gonna put it right back in your face. Next time you hop in APC, it might put it back in your face. You know what I'm saying? So me playing it, I really put myself in his shoes. So he not only is he trying to figure out what's going on, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. You know what I mean? Not only is he trying to find his parents, I'm trying to find them. You know, and I'm trying to help this person over here figure this out, help this person over there figure this out. And throughout playing it, people like Souls like I wouldn't call it Souls like I would call it like a investigative uh 3D full world Metroidvania because you're gonna be doing a lot of going back to this place and checking out this area. You can't get into it yet because you haven't had this conversation with this individual and unlock this. So you got to come back later because it's gonna be a whole bunch of coming back and checking this out, and it's a lot of stuff intertwining, especially with the NPCs around in the world, there's stores going on. It's a lot of because you might go to this area and this person brother might be over there. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So if you talk to his brother over here, you go talk to him because like where you at in the beginning, like you met the old man. This ain't spoiled. It's like happened in the very beginning of the game,
Yep.
and you hear him talk about his sons. You know what I mean? You might come across his son. You
Yep.
might. And it's a lot of stuff like that going on to where you have a conversation with a person, and then in the back of your mind, you're like, hold on, this person might have a connection to that dude over there in that town who I was talking to, you know. So then you'll go back over there, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's my little brother, or that's my cousin, or that's my high school friend, or we used to, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of stuff intertwining, and it's all pushing the story forward because Remy Remy is kind of like I don't know, I guess you call it like a catalyst for connection. You could say, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and kind of like bringing stuff. Bro, bro. This shit low key get me excited to jump back in this joint because it's it like I say, bro. This shit met all my expectations. Just like this my fucking guy, bro. Because it's just so interesting, man. It's so much fucking thought and detail put into it. You know, I even find myself like throughout the day just thinking about it. You know, because it's a lot of quests and stuff going on, and I didn't finish some of them. So I'm like, man, I wonder what would have happened if I would have went and did that, and who that person would have been connected to over here. And after you start playing, you have them kind of questions for real, man. Because like you said about the guy, they put a lot of thought into this. It's not a wasted line of dialogue for real in here. You
Yeah.
know, if you meet a new person and they got some news, some stuff to say, hey, bro,
No,
it
that's
means
dope.
something.
That's dope, especially a game that has you thinking outside of the game. Like you are reminiscent of it. It's like when you first start dating your girlfriend and you just want to spend every second of the day with her. And when you're not with her, you keep thinking about her. You know what I mean? That's the type of energy that when a game has, you're hooked. Let me ask you another question about a concern that a lot of people may have in regards to playing the game, and that is the puzzles in the game.
Hmm.
Now, I just got done playing Silent Hill F, and I told you that this is the last Silent Hill. Even though I love the game, this is the last Silent Hill F that I'll probably get day one because the puzzles are just too much for me. I should have played the game with the puzzles set to story difficulty, but you know me, I ain't no bitch, so normal is the least. I know that who the fuck cares how I play the game, story mode, normal, hard, whatever, but it's something within me that won't allow me to go below normal. Sometimes I do
Hmm.
bump up the difficulty to hard, but that's besides the point. What do you think about the puzzles in this game? And then I'll give you my experience so far of the puzzles.
Mm. Well, I say this: the puzzles they can be. I won't say they're like extremely difficult or super difficult because the answers are right there, or like in the area that you in. You just really got to pay attention and look, because you get the drone and it can it can interact with certain like writings on the wall or panels on the wall. You know, it's nothing like I don't think you won't have no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Because you hit the triangle, it'll say this, and you can kind of assess the situation right there in front of you. It's not frustrating. It's like I said, if you pay attention, you gonna get it, And I
Yeah,
and it could be a situation where it was because I was already in kind of like a puzzling kind of mind from playing Echoes of the End, and that got crazy environmental puzzles, And initially, since I didn't think they were in there like that, I wasn't really prepared. But after the first two, I'm like, okay, I'm in the mode now. So my mind was still kind of in a supposedly riddle solving mode, so that might also affect. But you just got through playing Silent Hill F, so
yeah,
your mind gonna already be in a kind of problem solving mode for video games. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna come easy for you. It's nothing. I say it. None of the puzzles I was stuck on. I just say it like this. None of the puzzles I was stuck on. You know what I mean? Anytime you can knock them out 5 minutes
yeah,
at the longest, in my opinion. Because like I said, everything you need to solve the puzzle is right. It's right there. You
yeah.
know.
Well, even right now, I'm in the puzzle in the beginning of the game well, we already did a couple puzzles, right? We did the APC puzzle where we had to get the door
Yeah.
open, and now I'm doing the other puzzle. Once you get the drone and the poncho and the sword, you got to open up that other door and look for the signs. Well, when I did this for the first time in the demo, um, I was frustrated. But then I'm like, wait a minute, Will, what the fuck are you doing? Obviously, there's clues. Let's look around. And literally, that's what
Yeah.
I did. I walked in the hallway. We went into that room. It looked like a library almost. I started scanning shit,
Yep.
and bam, it's right there. Then it was just a matter of fact of getting shit in order. And I was like, you know what? I appreciate this because unlike Silent Hill F, right? Silent Hill F, they like it's I don't even know how to explain the difficulty in that thing. It it's a lot of trial and error. I really appreciate
Mm,
games like this where it's okay, it's pretty straightforward. Like these are those symbols, go get them. Once you get them, figure out the order. And the description will kind of give you an idea of the order. And you solve it. So I thought I was
yeah.
going to hate that when I came across the first like APC quote unquote puzzle. It was like, okay, that's fine. Let me just explore. I got it. Now to this door one, okay, it's fine. I'm gonna go get it. And there's a little bit more. There's more as you go on. But I also know there's a thing in games where the early puzzles are the easiest ones, right? Because they don't want you to get too stuck right away. Does that kind of maintain the whole way through the difficulty of the puzzles, or do they get harder as you go on?
Um. Yeah. No, they kind of stay around the same. They kind of stay around there. I mean, might get their way of making the puzzles difficult. Don't even really have anything to do with the puzzles. It has more to do with the area they put the puzzles in,
Hmm.
because sometimes the second portion of the puzzle you gotta, what I'm saying, hollow walkers is all around there, so you gotta clear them out and then do it. So it's not even necessarily the puzzle difficulty. It's just, you know, the process of going from this area of the this section of the puzzle to that section. But like I say, it don't even have anything directly to do with solving the actual puzzle. It's just an obstacle they put in front of you to get to it. But nah, it's they're all mostly a matter of arranging arranging things and solving, and read a riddle. The riddle is the answer once you kind of understand the riddle, and then you get to arranging. That's how I go: riddle arranging. That's mostly what it is. Sometimes you have some where you got to go find a piece of something, but you probably got to do that like 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what yeah, I agree. The answers in the question, if you guys are looking at the video right now, you'll see that I've been here for a minute. That's because at the top it says, and finally the sinners will fall into the fires of hell. So that lets me know that's the last piece of the puzzle. So I scanned the
Mm-hmm.
three symbols. Now I'm gonna go back to the door and try my luck and try to get that gate open. But I know that one will be the last. Um,
Yep.
with this game, Henry, I know that this is not a sponsored video or a promoted video. This is just two gamers talking about a game that you really love. Next time it may be a game that I really love. And
Uh-huh.
I don't think we'll be doing these videos for every game, but I think we'll do these videos on games that really pique our interest and games that really may have something unique or special about them. And I think this game definitely falls in that category because even though I haven't beaten the game yet, I can definitely tell how special the game is. And you have, so I want to take this opportunity and go over it. But is there anything else that you think the gamers should know about the game? Maybe something that, you know, they're in between, like, should I buy it? Should I not? Should I play it? Should I not? Is there anything else that you can think of that might help somebody out make the decision?
Mm, let me think. I mean, check. All right, first and foremost, if you can find a like a 10-minute walkthrough or something like that, 10-minute gameplay, I would recommend this for pretty much any game anyway. But
And there's a demo out there too.
oh yeah, exactly. Boom, demo, play that, because whatever I could say, whatever you could say, whatever a reviewer could say, nothing gonna beat seeing actual gameplay, or even with the demo playing actual gameplay. I think for a lot of people, especially in this time right now, playing it and seeing it played will help you to decide if it's something for you, or if it's something not for you. You know, I I do recommend the game. I'm going to tell you right now, don't be intimidated by the combat. about what some people, oh, it's not Souls like. Um, it's hack and slash. You like hack and slash? Check it out. You know what I'm saying? You got block, you got parry, you got perfect block, you got perfect parry, you got heavy attack, you got light attack, you got dodge, roll. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you got a lot of tools at your disposal in order to, get through the fights. And that's pretty much it, man. If you at least slightly curious, check that demo out. You know what I'm saying? Check that demo out. And in that demo, they do a good job of giving you a taste of everything that you're gonna be experiencing in the game. You know what I mean? So playing the demo, you're gonna get a general idea of everything that the game is gonna throw at you. Of course, there's gonna be bigger some bigger situations and some smaller situations, but check that demo out. That's what I would say. Check the demo out because it's
Yeah.
available on all the platforms that the game is on. So
Yeah.
and that's gonna let you know.
Facts. And then the one last thing that I want to ask you about the game is obviously we know there's a story. We know the gameplay is phenomenal. What was the ending like for you? Like, was the ending impactful? Did it
Oh,
just
bro.
wrap up? Like, you feel like this is a good ending? Like, give me those emotions because sometimes the endings blow us away, right? Expedition 33 was one that blew me the hell away. I was like, whoa, what the hell? And then there's other games where I loved the game, but the ending was like, okay, this wraps up the game. I understand it. What do you think about this ending for this game?
Oh, the ending was it was super satisfying for me. Super satisfying, bro. And it was satisfying and also surprising. I'll say that. You know, I also say it left me wanting more, but not in a bad way. You know how sometimes like an ending will leave you wanting more, but you don't feel satisfied.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it, I was satisfied. I was surprised, and I wanted some more. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that's what I said. That's what I said about the ending. It was, and like I really hope you play it and finish it, and then cause so we can talk about that. We can
Oh
talk
yeah.
about that for real.
We'll do a part two to this video, and do like a spoiler cast kind of deal where we talk all about the spoilers and what we thought about it and all that. And that was actually my goal with this video. Um, even though this is the first in the series, the reason I wanted to go over this game is because, like I said in the beginning, right away the game looks special to me. Only reason I haven't been able to play is because I mean, guys, we've had Ghost of Yotei, Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill F, Borderlands, Shinobi, Killing Floor 3,
Bro.
Firefighter Simulator Ignite. Tomorrow, or our tomorrow. I don't know when you guys will see the video yet. Will probably be soon, but our tomorrow, October 10th, we have Little Nightmares 3 coming out. We got Borderlands 6. At the end of the month, we got Outer Worlds 2. So there's so many games that
Oh man,
it's just
we had Absolem come out today.
absolutely. Really, I thought that the physical comes out the 17th. Well, Amazon is telling me the 20th, even though physical comes out the 17th, which is pissing me off. What do you call it? GameStop doesn't even let you pre-order the damn thing. I don't know if they sold out or what, but that's a dope game. That's a co-op game too, right?
Yep.
Man, when
I
are you
think
gonna start
yeah.
playing that one?
I think probably Saturday.
Damn, because I'm like, I was thinking about getting it, but you might push me to get a digital version, just so I can hop in there with you, because that
Yeah,
game looks
bro.
interesting to me.
Cause I remember when I first saw it on PSN. I mean, on PlayStation YouTube, and then I talked about the trailer. I was like, bro, yeah, I got to have it. I got to.
Game looks dope.
And it's also scoring pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, I saw the reviews you posted on our Discord earlier. But man, we are coming up to the hour mark. We're at minute 54, 55. And this was a dope conversation, Henry. What you think about this?
Yeah, man, super dope. Always a good time when you get to talk about some good games with the homies, bro.
Hell yeah. So, guys, let us know in the comment section if you want to see more videos like this. Um, because me and Henry are willing. The flesh is willing. We love games. Henry has been beating a whole bunch of games lately. I've been beating a whole bunch of games lately. I'm in my mode this month in October. I finished Dying Like the Beast.
Yep.
Um, I finished, I forget what else. Metal Eden? No, that was last month. Either way, I've been finishing games and I'm in
You
that
finished
mode
Silent
where,
Hill.
oh, Silent Hill F. Yes, that's the most recent one. So I finished two big AAA games. I'm gonna try to finish Ghost of Yotei, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, man, it's a lot of games, and we're more than willing to talk about these conversations. But I'm going to put all the descriptions in the or all the links in the description. I'm gonna put a link to the comic book that tells you the prequel. I'm going to link my YouTube channel and Henry's YouTube
Yep.
channel. We're also gonna try to get this video over to Henry's channel as well. So guys, go subscribe over to Henry. Henry be putting work in, talking about topics that are relatable to the gamer and especially the games. I don't even know how many videos you do a day now, but you're constantly showing games that I haven't even seen yet, which is impressive to me because I'm in the know. You know what I mean? I'm constantly online
Mm-hmm.
looking up stuff, so that's impressive. But all the links will be down there. Hit the like to this video. By hitting the like, we will know literally how much you guys like it. If we
That's
get
fact.
200 views but only 10 likes, then we know y'all didn't like it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
bro.
So
That
hit the
video was
like.
dog shit.
Yeah, dog shit. And yeah, we love talking games, but we can also love talking games while we play games and not record anything. So we can do that to ourselves. We really want to share this with you guys, try to highlight some games, try to give us our point of view on some of these games and expertise per se. Because look, ain't no journalist playing more than me and Henry do. And that's a fact.
That's
And
a
they do this
fact.
for a
That's
living.
a fact, bro. They get a check for it.
And they get a check for it. And more than likely, they don't play as many games as you do, the audience. But Henry, anything else you want to lead the people out of here with?
Now just make sure y'all check out that demo, man, and head on over to that Discord.
Facts. And I'm gonna link the demo on the description as well. I'm gonna link the
Mm.
PlayStation store demo on the description. But yeah, go check it out. But yeah, man, that was a good talk. We are at 57 minutes in. I appreciate you guys coming through, hanging out with us today. It was a great time, Henry. Thank you for stopping through, and I'm glad to stop through to your channel. Hopefully, we get this worked out. But hit the
Yeah,
like,
man.
y'all. Hit that subscribe. Henry, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I appreciate you hitting me up to do this, man. It was a good time, good talk.
Facts.
Can't wait to do it again.
Hell yeah. Well, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Keep it gaming.